Welcome to Yacht Femme, where we talk about the women that make the yachting industry. I'm your host, Andrea Tagliaferro. Learn who they are, how they got into yachting, and what they do today. Meet Lorenza Allegrini, project manager at Lurssen shipyard. Lorenza is a mechanical engineer from Italy who found her way into the yachting industry by chance. In 2000, she applied for a position at Benetti and was quickly hired. She later moved to Lurssen, where she has been a project manager since 2018. Lorenza manages the relationship between clients and the shipyard. She is responsible for managing costs, meeting deadlines, and ensuring high-quality construction. In her free time, she's a fan of the cinema and hopes to one day work on a project for someone in the film industry. Hi everyone, welcome back to Yacht Femme. I'm here with Lorenza Allegrini. She's project manager at Lürssen Kröger. Lorenza, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Andrea. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure, such an emotion, I would say.
That's so sweet. Well, we're so excited to have you. And with a little bit of back and forth of making sure our schedules matched, we're able to squeeze in today. So thank you for your time and for valuing our conversation. Before we jump in, let's get to know you a little bit, a little intro. So can you tell us where are you from? What do you do? And maybe how do you get into yachting?
Yes, sure. So I was born in Italy, in Toscana. I got a master's degree in mechanical engineering. And since graduating from university, I've been working in the super yacht industry, first in production department, but most of the time as a project manager. It's now 22 years. My gosh, it's a lot. I'm getting very old.
Don't say that. Time flies.
So I've been working in Italy, the Benetti shipyard. And now, since 2018, I'm working in Germany at Lürssen Kröger Werft, again as a project manager.
How did you study to work in the yachting industry, or how was it that you found it or even ended up here?
Absolutely. As I told you, I'm a mechanical engineer, but being a mechanical engineer is a very wide concept. Let's say you can do a lot of things. I didn't have any background in shipbuilding. I just finished my university. I wanted to start working immediately. And someone told me, Lorenza, there are those shipyards in Viareggio. They are looking for new people. They want to hire engineers. That was 2000, year 2000. So the business was very strong. And I said, okay, I will try. I mean, it was mostly a curiosity. They will never take me. I don't have any experience at all, no background in shipbuilding. So it was September, exactly 22 years ago. I made my interview, and the day after, they called me, when can you start? And I started in production. I have to say, I'm very grateful. They wanted someone completely open-minded with no experience at all. I mean, the only strong thing that I could bring with me was speaking English. But I didn't know anything of yachts. I didn't know what a keel was. I didn't know what it was about, what a bulwark was. What was a bulwark? I mean, it was my far west. I mean, I spent those 2 years in production, learning. I met wonderful people. At that time, I was, let's say, I was an assistant to the production manager, and I was also a support for the production engineer. What I did was basically preparing the planning for the test of the system on boards, preparing the working list. The working list are lists with remarks coming from crew, from owner representative, from Lloyd's or ABS, when something is not working properly. And basically I was supporting the production team in dealing with all the external stakeholders.
Uh-huh.
And then after 2 years, they asked me if I wanted to become a project manager, and I said yes. Why not? and I have been working as a project manager since that time.
I can't believe it only took a week, to be honest. It's just like you applied just to see how things go. A week later, you're already in Benetti.
Yeah.
You were saying that
it was incredible. Yes, I didn't expect it as well. I didn't expect it. It was my first working experience, and as I told you, having no background in shipbuilding, I was sure. I mean, they were not looking for a person like me. Actually, this is what they were looking for. I mean, a new mind, something completely looking probably at problems in a different way as they were completely used to do. And so for this, I'm very grateful. They gave me a great opportunity, I would say. Well, yes.
After you're in the industry or years of experience, we can see how sometimes you want someone who's green to be molded, but when you're coming into the industry, you just can see why they would value someone as green as you were describing, that you didn't know what a bulwark or a was. In my case, my first job, I only knew that you had to take off your shoes before to get on a boat. And my first job at a shipyard, I didn't know what a GA was, because coming from a design, you say floor plan. So I remember writing in my little notebook all the questions for later, and my superior sees that I write GA, and I'm like, oh my God, the most embarrassing thing. I don't know. These people keep talking GA. What the hell is that?
Yeah. Well, I remember I was talking about floors, and they told me, you can't say floors. These are decks. So, I mean, it was a fantastic experience. So probably the best of my life.
It's amazing. Everything becomes slightly new because you knew that same concept, but it was named differently. But yeah, a week is really amazing also. Oh, you were saying that you did have English. Your English is really, really good. Do you think that's one of the things that got you into the shipyard, to be bilingual?
For sure. That was a must. And I have to say, it is still a must. Our business is very international. And working in a shipyard, in a position as a project manager, you are working with teams of people coming from everywhere in the world. I'm not talking about the client, of course. I'm talking about people we are talking every day, subcontractors, crew teams. English is the language of the shipbuilding industry. This is absolutely right. So for anybody who wants to enter this business, English is mandatory. So yes, it helped me. It helped me a lot.
I'll take it a step further. You need to know how to build in millimeters, not only in feet and inches. Go away with your fractions, people.
You're right.
Can you, before I keep going on the tangent here, can you take me through a workday? What are your tasks? What's your role like?
Being a project manager, maybe I can say something very boring, Andrea, but being a project manager, I mean, the main three goals are technical, economical, and time related. So at the end of the day, my tasks is to build a yacht according to the specification with the money I have in my budget and in the time, in the timing that they gave me. So how I do that, it's a work of relationship. As a project manager, you work in two worlds, let's say, the client worlds and the shipyard worlds, and you are in between. So the client worlds, it means to deal with owner representative, crew, interior designer, exterior designer, and then there is your team. your technical department, production, purchasing, administration, and you have to find a way, I mean, for the two worlds to merge and to have the final result, which is what the client is expecting. So in clear words, what I do, I organize meetings. My main task is to be sure that the client or the client's team, he's approving drawings, he's giving me information to every aspect of the production of a yacht. They are also producing their information. For instance, if we have an interior designer, I need to take care that they are preparing the interior drawings in the right time, that they are complete. And for the exterior designer, the same. I check that every aspect, the sketches, 3D models are all received, clear, and we are able to build the yacht. So my main task is to organize, to prepare those meetings. So a big, strong preparation together with my internal team is essential. And together with them, we prepare what are, as I told you, drawings, renderings, 3D models, samples, mock-up. We visit subcontractors. Some of the subcontractors are invited to those meetings. I mean, the key subcontractors are like the interior company, like the AVIT, navigation and communication system. So it's my day, my weekly routine is to have meetings with the owner's team, internal meetings to prepare those meetings with the client or the teams. And of course, management meetings, because projects are also coming with risks. And my task is also to identify those risks. Risk assessment, it's very critical. It's one of the most important aspects. So to understand if there are problems in time delivery, if we are dealing with cost problems, if we are dealing with a lack of information. And yeah, as you see, I'm not a very, it's not a very technical work as one could imagine, but of course a technical background is important. But it's mostly a manager work. So to find a way that all this information, this flux of information is flowing inside the shipyard in a way that everybody is working and we can build a yacht in time.
I don't know if you said that this wasn't technical, but I was quite overwhelmed with everything because you're at the top of all the pieces to fit, to be on time. And I actually want to know, how often are yachts don't meet schedules? Is that something, because it on land, and we all know it, construction says it's going to finish this and finishes months later. So does that happen with yachts too, or because of the clients you have to make it? So
it can happen for many reasons. I mean, COVID was one of the most challenging periods for every shipyard, I have to say, because of the normal reasons. I mean, not everybody could be present at work. Subcontractors had problems in finding product, in finding material, cost problems. So yes, it happened. It happens also if there is some definition missing. It happens if there is big modifications. So sometimes, I mean, our project with months of development and years of development, and it happened that the client changes his mind. It's normal. I mean, maybe he got some inspiration for something that he has just seen on the market or something that he has just visited. And for big, huge modification, there can be delays. That's part of the game. Definitely. Modification can also have an effect on cost. And so this is one of the other aspects that I have to deal with, unfortunately. It can be difficult, but yes, it's normal. Modification is a modification. And the effect on the timing can be important. Yeah.
I do remember going once into the shipyard. I was part of a build in Florida, and all of a sudden I'm like gonna be in the shipyard maybe 3 hours because I'm running to catch a plane off on vacation. And they tell me, before you leave, we need you to do a new GA for us that we can edit while you're gone. And we need you to cut the yacht in half and expand. I thought, and I start laughing. I thought everybody's just joking.
Andrea, on paper,
let's throw something at her. And it was like, no. And we need this now. The owner's waiting for it.
Of course, now.
Cutting the yacht in half.
Yeah, it happened. It never happened in my experience, in my professional experience, but of course it happened. Yes. Or, the client can ask to have a swimming pool in another location, which may be simple as a saying, but moving a structural element from one deck to another can be challenging.
Lorenza, now you have to tell us a little bit of your work environment. What is it like to work at Lürssen Kröger?
Very absorbing, I have to say, but yes, we work hard. I think we have a very constructive team building process. I mean, all the project managers, we are trying to share our experience, our problems, and the way we are solving our problems. As working on a specific project, you can feel alone sometimes. But we have this way of sharing that I think it's wonderful, really wonderful. To share your experience with your colleagues, even your daily experience of what's happening on your project, how have you solved these problems, and so on. So we are working hard, but we are also trying to have fun together, to relax, and to involve. We love to involve our owner representative team and crew. I mean, they are spending a big part of their life together with us, 2-3 years working together. It's also nice to go out and take a beer, to go together to the cinema, to organize some events all together, because we think that team building is really important. And it's a very strong value in my shipyard. Yes.
That's great to hear. How big is the team that you're talking about? Like, I'm assuming that you don't do the whole shipyard.
No, we are, in total, we are 2, 4, 6, 8 project managers.
Okay.
Each of us has his own project. And then, yes, the shipyard, then it's much bigger than that, divided in all the departments, as you can imagine.
No.
But we are, in total, we are 8 project managers. Yes.
Got it. Well, that sounds like a fun group.
Yeah.
It's big, but small enough that you can actually do stuff and
exactly.
make
Exactly. And men and women is well balanced. Yes.
I like that note there. This is one of my favorite questions, but can you tell me what has been your biggest accomplishment or proudest day in yachting to date?
Oh, I have to say, I'm very lucky to have maybe more than one. One of my oldest, as I told you, I was working in production, and I was the assistant of the production manager, and we had this yacht ready to be delivered. And the latest days are crazy, Andrea. I mean, there are so many things to do, lists to prepare, problems are popping up on every part of the yacht, and you must be ready for the delivery. And I remember the project manager, at that time I was not a project manager. Project manager asked me, can you please sit next to me at the delivery, and together with the lawyers, together with the owner's team, can you please come and sit together with me? And I thought, oh wow, that was my first project, my first experience, and I said, oh wow, I would be honored. And he asked me to sit together with him and to prepare the final working list and to supervise all the phases. And I was so excited, and it was really great. I mean, for someone new as I was, it was a great experience. Thank you to him.
That is quite the honor. You were also there supervising that all the faces were correct, but
well, let's say so.
What a great day. Do you remember when it was? How long ago that was?
2001.
So it was a very memorable day.
Yeah, the end of 2001.
Big milestone. Have you seen any changes in the yachting industry? I know that's like a segue there, but yeah.
Yeah, well, from 2000 up to now, I have to say the clients are getting younger and younger, and also more demanding. Mm-hmm. In terms of innovation, in terms of technology. And there is now a strong attention to the environment. This is not only from the shipyards, but is also from the clients themselves. I mean,
what would be a common request when it comes to a client wanting you to be sustainable, for example? What is
way to save energy on board?
Okay, so it's more energy efficiency.
Or, for instance, I got a request how to avoid to have plastic bottles. We don't want to have plastic bottles. So to think about a way to be to reduce the carbon print of the life of the yacht, to change also the processes for the life of the yacht itself. But there is also the other aspect, I mean, connected to building a yacht. So reduce the shipyard carbon print, find different ways of propulsion, having a yacht emission-free, saving energy. As I told you, saving energy is a big request. Using more sustainable materials for the interior and for the exterior. I mean, these are requests that are really becoming more and more important. And so we have to get ready for that.
Of course.
To give you an example, now Lurssen is building his first fuel cells yacht. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a great accomplishment. I mean, not only reduction in terms of emission reduction, but also noise and vibration levels, which are incredibly reduced. And as you can imagine, for a client, this is absolutely important. When a yacht is quieter and vibration are reduced, I mean, this means comfort. This means, to make them more comfortable on board.
Of course. Is that would be under one of the technology asks that you currently get, or that's more of innovation when you're talking about vibrations and sound?
That's an innovation. Yes.
An innovation. So what would be a trending or a tech ask that you get now more frequently?
I would say more frequently in the navigation and communication and AVIT. There is a strong attention to what's happening in the world of communication, satellite communication, and every client is very informed about these new developments, and they are expecting these developments to happen also for their yacht. For their house on the water. So yeah, this is a strong request at the moment.
Got it. Can you tell us or share with us something we may not know about you? I basically say something I wouldn't find on you on LinkedIn or any other professional site. What can we know about?
Yeah, well, I'm a very boring person. I'm sorry. No, I like to spend time with my family. I love to go to the cinema. I love movies. I've been twice at the Venice Film Festival, and I'm still looking to build a yacht for an actor. It never happened.
You have to go and advertise next time you're at the film festival.
Offer myself as a project manager. It never happened.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I like cooking cakes. I like this is very relaxing. Yeah. And apart from that, nothing special. As I told you, I'm not a sailor. I don't share this big passion that most of my colleagues have to go sailing. I of course, I love the sea. I love the sun. But I like walking. I like trekking. But most of the time, I spend it with my family and with my kids.
Well, kids can be very demanding too.
Yeah.
You have two. So
I have two. Yes. Yes.
Well, don't worry. If you ask me what I did yesterday, yes, I went on a very small hike and then I watched TV because I love comedy. So if that makes me boring, then I'm very boring as well.
No.
Lorenza, this is the most important question I'm asking you today would be, what advice would you give yourself? What do you wish you had known on your first day starting the industry, or basically when you started in yachting?
To be patient and to not to be afraid, asking questions, saying I didn't understand. It's very important. I learned to be humble and to ask people for help, and at the same time to be mentally strong. So to find your time, your balance, in a way that you can then quickly react to the situation. So asking for support is important, but on the other side is also important to react immediately. And to do that, to be effective, to react immediately, you have to have this balance, to be mentally strong and humble at the same time. I think that's important.
Well, thank you so much. That is really, really important. I wish I had the courage to ask questions, more questions when I started. I had to build the courage to let people know that I didn't know something and then ask.
I wish as well, yes.
There's more stuff now on Google about yachting, not when we started. So at least now you can go on your phone and Google it before you had to depend on other people and their experience.
Thank you for having me. I found your podcast really fantastic. I mean, to give the opportunity to the women of the super yacht industry to talk about their experience, women that are working every day on a normal, regular basis, but of course they are not known. It's great, and I hope it will be of inspiration to other women to be part of this industry.
I 100% can tell you that, yes, this was very valuable and people will definitely be inspired. And thank you so much for sharing what you do about trends and all that. You work at such a prestigious shipyard that we're all really excited to always know more about what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you again.
You have a great day.
And I hope to see you face to face.
Oh, yes.
Very soon.
Get off the virtual backgrounds and see you.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thanks again and have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to Yacht Femme. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and comment. Your comment will help us reach a broader audience. And don't miss the next episode. Bye!